we spoke, Brother Muhammad, also about the kids, especially kids now starting the school.
In school, yeah.
And of course, a lot of our kids, like Muslim kids in Muslim, even Islamic school, sometimes have this kind of jealousy, rage, something. They are because different.
Absolutely.
Especially go to public school, you are Muslim, especially with the colors.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we don't talk to our kids about that we should be talking to our kids about.
Yeah,
as parents. Well, we want to always try to shield them, right, from the topics that we don't want to touch. We don't want to touch too much because you live in non-Muslim countries and you don't want to stir the pot. You don't want to get anybody angry. You don't want your kids to say something wrong and get in trouble. Because a lot of times I know parents say, if my kid says something in school that we talk about at the house, I feel like those parents or those teachers might get mad and then say, what are the parents teaching them in the schools and then at their homes? And so we as parents forget that we are the parents, right? That we have to talk to our kids a certain type of way. And one of the things I even tell my own kids is what happens in this house stays in this house.
Yeah. In fact, I prepared some question. And number one, we always Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu is our guidance.
Absolutely.
Wallahi, if we really follow the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu and what Allah said in the Quran, we applying the Sunnah and applying the Quran in our life, our household, our kids will be perfect.
Yeah.
But the job of the shaitan, we are departed.
Always.
No, not together. We are departed. This is the job. And so far, shaitan is success.
Yeah. Well,
and Allah said, خلق الإنسان ضعيف. We are weak. And shaitan is weaker. The shaitan is a weaker brother and sister. Hadith Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Bukhari and Muslim. And this hadith, we grow up with this hadith. لا يحب أحدكم. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and it's Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لا يحب أحدكم لا يؤمن أحدكم. No one have believed. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. No one have إيمان. لا يؤمن. No إيمان until you love for your brother what you love for yourself.
Absolutely.
And Allah said in Surah Al-Ma'idah, وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. Allah said in Surah وتعاونوا, work together.
Yeah.
Color, nationality, together in the righteousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for loving each other for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not the opposite.
You say this, and it's funny because I was listening to this non-Muslim guy speaking on his podcast, and one of the things he said was if the Muslims all came together, all the Muslims came together, and they actually followed their religion the way they're supposed to follow the religion, he said the world would be a better place.
Indeed.
This is a non-Muslim speaking like this.
Especially our Quran.
Yeah.
Our Quran is the rule, the religion of Quran. So, but this hadith, let's go among this hadith around. لا يؤمن أحدكم. No one have true iman, true iman until you love for your brother, your sister, but you love yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, that's why the key is our household.
Well, we can't save the world, but we start where?
In the household.
And you do that with your kids because that's where you start the generation, right? You change, every generation changes.
No.
We talked about your generation growing up overseas.
No.
And we talk about my generation, the next generation. Every generation changes. And the way you talk to each generation also has to change with that. Right? If we don't change the way we talk to our children, you can't talk to your kids the way your father talked to you.
No. But let's go to the hadith of Prophet Muhammad. لا يؤمن أحدكم. No one have true iman until you love for your brother or your sister, but you love for yourself. So in our life, how can we apply this in our household, especially teaching our kids when you go to our public school?
You have to start that with yourself, right? You can't just talk to your kids about it, but not show them what it means, right? That's a hypocrite. right? It's like me talking to a kid about stopping doing drugs, and I'm still doing drugs. You can't talk to your children about what that meaning is, about really wanting good for somebody else, if you're not doing that, if you're not practicing that as a parent. You know what I mean? Like it's you have to show them, right? We always talk about kids, we always talk about the parents, I don't know how many times we've said it, but parents are the backbone of what the kid's gonna learn. Right? They're mimicking you, they're seeing you, they're watching you, they feel you. Right? Kids have a better sense of feelings from the parents. When you get older, you start to lose that vibe, that feeling that you get off of people. But kids know when you're genuine, kids know when you're lying, kids know when you're serious, kids know when you're being real.
This again, the kids know if I am lying or I am doing this. The kids, even babies.
Oh,
even if I hide it.
If you try to hide it, the kids will feel it.
Listen to this,
yeah, absolutely.
Listen to this. I mean, even if you like your son or your daughter, the kids will find out.
Absolutely.
How?
They feel it.
They feel
it. That there's a feeling.
Number one, they feel your parents.
Yeah, and there's probably people out there that might think I'm crazy or I'm not making any sense. But kids feel what's going on in the house. You know it. We walk into these houses, right? We go into these houses and you feel when you walk into this house, you feel the tension or the anger.
Yes.
Or you walk into a house and you feel, okay, this feels pretty good. It's like a good vibe that you get in a house.
Indeed.
Right. And how many times have you walked into the house and you said, okay, I feel comfortable in here. This feels like a good Muslim household.
In fact, you just mentioned something. You visit the same house. When I entered the house, when they call me, we have problem with the kids. One of the kids.
Yeah.
When I entered the house, I found the problem between the
parents.
The parents.
Yeah. And
but they're not admitted the mistake. No.
We're good.
We make a ruqya, we make Quran and this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we have to fix it.
And then I walked into the same house and I said the same thing.
We have to fix it.
We have to fix
How to fix this can make our household, number one, to be united together with
truthfulness.
The number one, as-sidq. Allah Azza wa Jal yuhibbu as-sadiqin. Allah loves those people who have it truthful.
Yeah.
You know, for example, when a lot of parents, especially the mom, to teach her son, if you do this, you go to hellfire. Go to hellfire.
Yeah, everything's hellfire. Yeah.
And instead, no, Jannah, those paradise. Not be my opinion. Be optimistic.
Absolutely.
Be optimistic. Not.
Or the worst one is when you walk into these houses and they say, well, why can't my kid be like Ahmed? Or why can't my kid be like
this? That's very important.
We have a comparison that we do.
That
boy's better than my boy. This guy's doing this. Or don't talk to Ibrahim because Ibrahim is a bad guy. He talks like this. That's not how that's not how you love for your brother what you love for yourself. There's a certain way of talking to our children about the friends that they have, about the stuff that they see, about what their friends are posting online, or what. There's a way of talking of explaining things. We are Muslims.
Yeah.
We don't do it this way because of this, and that.
Yes. I mean,
work around and then say, hey, listen, I know Ibrahim is posting these things, or I know Ibrahim is saying these things, but he's your Muslim brother. Let's go talk to Ibrahim. Don't talk to his parents. Let's talk to Ibrahim first and see what's going on. Because then when you talk to Ibrahim and you explain to Ibrahim, listen, brother, man, I love you. You're my Muslim brother. What you're doing and how you're talking is not the right way we talk. Then you're going to find Ibrahim telling you, well, I don't know, I heard my dad talk like that, or I heard my mom speak like this.
See? Yeah. That's very scary.
And when you hear that coming from the child, then you see where the problem is. Okay, Ibrahim, listen, I can't go into your house. I'm not going to go into your house and talk to your mom and dad about how they talk. But you're living there. So you can say, hey, Mom, Dad, this is haram. We shouldn't be talking like this. Because it takes one person, two people, or one person who's a good role model, good genuine person to break through that all that trash that's been happening in that house to get to that kid. Because a lot of times, I don't think parents realize this. The kid can really change the vibe in the house by saying things. Imagine your kid coming to you and saying to you, Baba, you're doing this wrong. This is haram. How would you feel when your kid has to tell you what you're saying
Some parents, I practice this with some people, some parents get angry and they hit the kid. And some people accept it.
Yeah, some people accept it. And again, it's the way you present things, the way you say things.
In fact, I have 4 kids. When I listen to my khutbah al-Jum'ah or lecture, and Baba, you say it's better to say so and so. And my wife too.
Yeah.
It's good to take an advice from the children.
Yeah, it's good feedback, right? And all you want to do is improve your life.
Yeah,
and improve what you do, improve how you're feeling, improve your family. And so when you can instill that in yourself first, that's when you're going to start to be able to trickle it down to your kids.
But how to instill the tarbiyah for the kids, how to deal with our kids now. I'm talking in America. Because I cannot tell. I know some people watching us in different countries, but we live in America now. Our situation here, I don't know what actually some Muslim countries.
Yeah.
How to instill in the heart of our kids about the treatment of Muslim inside and outside to deal with, because we lived in non-Muslim country.
Yeah.
And public school, 99.99% and even more non-Muslims, and you are in the middle of this.
You asked me this question. It's funny you asked me this question because in my job I do a lot of charity work. I do a lot of volunteer work. We give a lot of food out to people who are low income, and a lot of times, I have to go to our Muslim agencies, nonprofits. Hey, I need this. Or I'll tell my friends, my coworkers, hey, go to this agency, this Muslim agency. I don't even mention Muslim, but in my head, I know the Muslim agencies. Go to this agency and get what you got to get and take care of that family. And so kind of like one of the guys came up to me, one of the officers, and he said, man, I don't know what it is, but every time I go to your people, they're there. They just give.
Yes.
And he said, what? And he said, why? What is the, like, when I go to the church, I go to here, I go there. And sometimes they give, sometimes they say, hey, we don't have, or, we're not there today. But you guys, he's like, man, I went to that place 3 times and nobody was there. The guy said, wait, I'm coming. And he left everything to come to give. And he said, what is the reason behind this? And I said, well, in our religion, it's what we have to do. It's
when you give, Allah multiply it 10 times. 10 times, and even extra. Wallahu yudha'ifu liman yasha'u bighayri hisab. Without Allah will give.
Absolutely.
But the key, our kids.
And so when you hear these things, when you see these things, and I use these scenarios when I talk to the kids, because this is a behavior, yes, where it's in the Quran and Hadiths, and we push it, we push, and we yell, we keep going at it with our kids, but one thing we don't put on our kids is the value of empathy.
Oh, again, what?
Right? The value of empathy, right? To feel what the other person is feeling.
Oh my God, you're right.
Because in our Quran it says this. Okay, we're going to do it because it says in the Quran. Yeah, which is great. Alhamdulillah, you have to do what you have to do. But empathize with those people that you're giving it to.
Be part of their life.
Understand that you might go through that one day. Don't you want somebody to help you if you're going through something like this?
Indeed.
And so that's one thing that I think kind of distinguishes us from the rest of the people. It's in our Quran, it's in our Hadiths. We have to give. We have to.
Allah said in Surah Al-Imran, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. Kuntum, you are, as a Muslim, the best nation that Allah has created since Adam alayhi salam until this. We are the best nation. But the key here, how to apply this ayah in our household.
In our household, in our daily lives.
Yeah. Okay. If we fix our household, our community, our nation, after that step by step. Indeed. But my point here, about the tarbiyah, treating this law, we can do it. But some people, okay, brother, our kids, adults, our teenagers, this is for babies.
No. That's one thing. So see, here's what people, I guess the books always tell us, kids by the age of 6, they develop their personalities.
That's exactly what I need.
That's what the books teach us. And listen, I got my master's degree and I listened to all these books and I studied all these things. Just understand that the studying and the books, it's all They all teach us what they want us to learn.
And what to apply different.
And applying. But the books and the schools, they teach us what they want us to learn. They don't teach us everything.
Yeah.
Right. There's no real substance to the stuff until you get out in the real world and you start to see the stuff that I've learned. I don't use. I don't go to a house and say, I'm going to do this type of therapy. I'm going to do, CBT, I don't say those things. I just say, okay, this is what the household is. This is the problem. This is how I'm going to fix it. When you talk about wanting for your brother as you want for yourself and being a good Muslim and empathy, that's the kind of stuff that you start teaching right away. But if you were 16 years old, 17 years old, and you have a kid that's that age, and you haven't instilled that in them at a young age, all right, and maybe the parent didn't know, maybe the parent just started because a lot of our parents, when they're younger, they're Muslims by name, but they don't really take the deen seriously until they get older, right? A lot of Muslims do that. Oh, I'm gonna pray all my salahs when I turn 30 or after I have my first. We know a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, we say to ourselves, well, I'm praying 5 times a day and I'm giving charity. My kid's seeing me give charity. How come he still doesn't care? How come he still doesn't? Well, because it's important, right? Because now that we are becoming better Muslims and we're trying, we wonder why our kids are still falling behind, right? Are still not caring, are still mean, or still angry, or still, whatever they're doing is wrong. And so I have to remind the parents, you're talking to a person who's been alive for 15 years, who's been with you for 15 years, who saw you and watched you for 15 years, not do what you're supposed to be doing, not teach him the stuff he's supposed to be teaching. Now, because you are becoming a better Muslim, you want him to just forget everything you learned for 15 years because now this 1 year you became a better Muslim. It takes time. It takes time. But the truth is, personalities change constantly. We are adaptable, right? Humans adapt.
So my behavior, my attitude, I can change.
Everything can change.
But how?
You have to first of all, you have to really understand, like we talked about this, last week or the week before, self-talk, right? Self-reflection, understanding what you've been doing for the last X amount of years isn't working, right? So you have to ask yourself, what have I been doing? What have I tried? Why isn't my life getting any better? Or why isn't my life moving where I want it to go? And then seeing what you've been doing, right? Kind of like understanding, okay, I did all this way, but it hasn't worked. So now let's try something else, right? Let me try go this way instead of going that way, and see where Allah steers me, right, in the right direction. And we talked about it last time where we said it's okay to ask for help, right? It's okay to ask somebody, hey, look, I want you to come into my house. Or I want you to see what I'm going through, and what kind of changes do I need to make in order for me to become a better person. And as a parent, I would always say, look, I'm trying to change myself, but my kid's not changing. How can I change my kid with me? Right? Because we want to take our kids with us, right? We want to make sure our kids are successful. We want to make sure our kids are good Muslims. But if we're not understanding that it's been 15 years, this kid has been watching you do what you've been doing for 15 years. You can't expect that kid to now switch overnight and say, okay, I'm gonna have empathy. I'm gonna care what people think. It doesn't work that way.
No, it's step by step.
It's a step by step training. Exactly.
Training. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, there's a lot of methodologies, a lot of ways, a lot of ideas to instill this in the heart of the community members, regardless the ages.
Absolutely.
But it's kind of okay. Some people actually away from the community, the parents, for example. For example, they are working, the parents, both of them working, and they go to public school, and they come back from the public school, have the same problem in the household. Why? Because they adopted the other kids from their kids. But how to fix this is a really serious problem, because a lot of people even losing the deen, the Islam, because of that.
One of the things I always talk about with the kids, especially, is leadership, right?
Leadership.
Yeah, understanding that we are Muslims. Our religion gears us on leadership, right? And so if we're not instilling that confidence in our kids to understand that they don't follow the crowd, we don't follow what people are saying, we don't follow what people are doing, right? We want our kids to come back from school and tell us, hey, what happened in school today? I have to, even my own son, what happened in first period? What happened in second period?
Yeah.
We have to go down the line. And what was said? what was spoken about, and do we talk like this? That person that said all this stuff about somebody, do we talk like this as Muslims? And explaining to the kid, as Muslims, that's, gossiping is haram, backbiting is haram. Explaining to them why it's haram, and then you have that conversation with your kids outside of school, after school, so they can have somebody to kind of, you're the person that they're going to come to when they have problems and have issues. If you're not talking to your kid, they're going to be talking to all those other people, and those other people are going to give them the solutions to all their problems. They're not going to be Islamic solutions.
I was asking how in one of the houses, and actually the mom, actually a super mom,
Mm-hmm.
she had 2 kids and 1 year in between, and she would give a candy, big candy, one of the kids, and she said, Dr. Dremali, watch. And actually, we took it what 3 years and 3 and 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, 4 and 3. And she gave the candy to the boy, the older son, the one 4 years old. What he did, he's not give it to the youngest one. He take it and try to cut it pieces, 2 half, and he give it to not in his hand, brother, his hand, in his mouth. I said, that's amazing. And same time, I saw different places.
Yeah.
She give only me, my way or the highway.
Mine.
The key, actually, the mom is number 1 in the household.
Yeah.
Because Allah said, Rasulullah, Prophet Muhammad, your mom,
Absolutely.
and your father.
Yeah.
Why? Because, and actually, one of the poetry, the best one in poetry in my time, Al-Ummu Madrasa.
Yeah.
إذا أعدتها شعبا طيب الأعراق.
Yeah.
And the mother, she's a school.
Yeah.
If you prepare that school, the mom, you prepare a nation, the best nation.
Absolutely.
That means your mom, ummak, and your mom.
And we talk a lot about moms, and I know, trust me, my mom is everything. But we also have to remember too, right? We can't throw away the fathers, and then the importance of having the father figure to really.
He's a role model. The father is a role model. Yes.
Yeah.
And some people have no father. I mean, divorce or whatever. Yeah. The mom, she can be.
Yeah.
Both.
Absolutely.
I saw a woman, actually. The father passed away, and she is the mom and dad in the same time, and a sister with them.
Yeah.
I saw that actually not one, many sisters.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my point, brother and sister, do not give up.
No, there's no giving up.
We can change everything in the household.
And we always we forget that, like, we think our kids aren't listening to us, right? They still do what they got to do. They still do what they want to do, and we always feel like, oh, they're not listening. But eventually, and then, even me growing up, I said, oh my gosh, I just did what my dad does. Oh my gosh, I just did this. This is exactly what my father would do. Oh my God, that's my dad. My father would talk like this, and my father would. You start to see what your parents have been teaching you all these years.
To apply it in your life.
And you start applying it little by little, and you say, oh, so I was actually paying attention
in
back in my days.
Yes.
And so we can't just think, oh, khalas, I'm stopping. They're not listening to me. I'm not going to keep going. No, you have to keep going. As a parent, we have to have that patience. We have to have that sympathy with our kids, especially after having them for years on end and not teaching them right. And now all of a sudden we want to teach them right. You have to have patience.
As-sabr thumma as-sabr, and Allah loves the people who have sabr and patience. Allah loves those. Yeah. Okay. But inshallah, brother, also ما وسائل العملية التي يمكن استخدامها للأب والأم بمعنى how to make the father and the mother, not mom, mom. How the mom and number 1, the mom and the dad to instill this among themselves, number 1, to apply this for their kids. Because the key, the relationship, we mentioned that before, but now we need seeds. We need nourishment.
So
for the couple, for our kids to be the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And you say we plant the seeds, little seeds. And the people who plant those seeds are the mom and the dad, right? Those are the ones that really, that the kids are really watching, and when we kind of forget about all that. A lot of times I'll talk to the parents and I'll say to the parents, they say, I take my kids. I tell them, I'll tell them, take them to an Islamic food pantry, right? Take them to a food pantry and let them, you go first as a parent. You go first and tell your kid, I'm going to go to the pantry. I'm going to go help the poor people. I'm going to go help feed the poor. You go 1 week, you go 2 weeks. Let your kids see that you're going. Don't take them with you. The third week, you go and you say, listen, I can use some help because the boxes they make me carry are really heavy. Can you just come with me and carry the boxes and put them on the table, and I'll do the rest. Just put the boxes for me because my back is starting to hurt me. Little by little, you see, step by step,
Yes.
Little by little. And then you say, you don't have to come this week, but if you want to come just to help me with the boxes again, okay, mama, I'll come. You start to see
Step by step,
little by little, and you start planting those seeds.
Yes.
Right? Then next thing you know, they're going to be putting the boxes up. Mama, let me just take the stuff out of the boxes. Mama, let me fix it up. And you'll start to see little by little the empathy starting to grow inside that. And it'll start growing in their heart.
You're right.
That's how you train little by little empathy into those kids. Because now that kid's going to leave, go to school, and he's going to see his teacher trying to carry a box of printer paper. He's going to say, Miss Teacher, I'll carry it for you. I got it. Because he's going to know this is a woman. She's trying to carry something heavy. I'm the guy. I'm a boy. Let me carry it for her.
Allah.
You see, it trickles down.
In Texas, actually, one of the sister, a convert sister, convert. She go to the shelter. She was in the shelter before. She was in the shelter, and Allah blessed her with an excellent husband, Muslim. And she go to the shelter, different shelter. I was not involved. I was many times with her. She cooked in the shelter, and she bring friends, bring their kids with them. The kids, and the kids see the mom going to it, and the father as well. And believe it or not, in every shelter, many people become Muslims. Then imagine it, she become Muslim, and now she go to the shelter where she grew up with the shelter.
Absolutely.
Now a lot of and that's the first fi sabilillah, in the sake of Allah subhanahu. Brother, yes, we can change mentality, we can change our life.
It doesn't matter the age.
But the key, you have to change your mentality, yourself.
Absolutely. And I've seen it where these parents start taking their 12-year-olds, 13, 15-year-olds to these places to help out. And it got to the point where, weeks and weeks and weeks where the kid would say, hey, let's go. We're going to go help these people. We got to go. The kids starting to want to go.
Yeah, exactly.
And so this little thing that we're doing with our kid, the seeds that we're planting, it's such a small thing. Small seed, but you don't realize the bigger impact the kids will want to wake up early on a Saturday morning. The kids go help people from whatever time to whatever time. You know what they're not doing when they're helping people? They're off their phones. They're off their video games. They're off their social media.
Yeah.
They're talking to people. They're meeting people. They're seeing Muslims. They're seeing other people. They're learning. They're developing the empathy. They're developing that skill. And then they go back to school the next week, and you start to see those seeds play out. Well, what are you doing on Saturday? Well, I can't go with you guys on Saturday because I have to go. We go to the food pantry and we help the poor. Well, I want to try that. Well,
exactly.
Ask your mom to bring you. This is the address. Come through.
Allah said, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, أعوذ بالله وفي ذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون. In this matter, competing each other, which will do good for humanity.
Who does the best? Who does the most?
Yeah, you're competing.
Yeah.
Plus,
but that's not the competition we do in this society. That's the opposite of what we're doing right now.
But actually, I saw here yesterday the youth said they sit together around maybe 30. When I enter Salat al-Isha, they come for Maghrib and Isha. Youth sitting together, they make homework together, and learn Quran together, and give food to each other. I saw that, but I know it's not a lot of community. But I saw this here weekly. MashaAllah, they do excellent, inshallah. But in Shirkat, it's our masjid only.
Yeah.
What about the other masajid?
Yeah.
Take opportunity. I believe that if you try, maybe the board sometimes, the board, no. Try once, twice, try. Don't forget, our kids, our future in this country.
Absolutely.
Not in our country, in the whole world.
Absolutely.
Our kids, our youth is our future.
And we always talk about Muslim agencies, nonprofits, and helping the Muslims. And if you don't have one, go to another one.
Yeah, get one.
Or build
Start
investment, or start and we always talk about we always talk about the board members and how the board members are, they stop doing things, they stop you from doing stuff. And I've always had problems with the board members.
Yes, me too.
but I still do what I need to do with other masajid and other places.
Yeah.
I don't give up.
Do not give up.
Yeah.
Do not surrender.
Absolutely.
And who's that? Our Prophet Muhammad 13 years in Mecca. 13 years da'wah. And he left them to better people. And after that, the whole Arabia become Muslims.
Yeah.
The key start.
Yeah.
Allah said, إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. Allah will never change a nation until you change your own mentality. Allah said that. Change to be better.
Yeah.
And suppose I am good, I can be better.
Yeah.
I am not.
Let's start. You gotta start. You gotta start somewhere.
The key start.
Yeah.
Jazakallah khair. The key start. Okay. Now, kids, babies. كيف يمكن أن نكافئ الطفل أو نشجعه عندما يظهر سلوكا فيه محبة للآخرين? How to encourage the kids to give him a gift, a prize, something when he go with other kids. For example, this story. With this story, he split the candy and he gave it to his brother mouth like this. He can eat it because he's 4 years old.
Yeah.
And his younger one, 1 year exactly, he gave it to him. I mean, I believe, I asked the mom, what do you do after that? And I said, I take him inside, she gave him more candy.
Yeah. Positive reinforcement.
But not in front of the other
Not in front of the other kids. And that's what all.
Is that okay?
You see, if it works, it works. Every kid, every family, every person is different, right? We always talk about it's not a one size fits all, thing where we can't say it worked for my kid, it might work for your kid. But I will say the majority of the kids, they want attention.
Oh,
right.
I like that.
And so a lot of the kids that we see now, they don't care what kind of attention they get. If it's bad attention, positive attention, negative, they don't care. But if you as a parent understand how to start as a baby to give that positive energy, that positive attention positive attention.
Again, positive
attention. Right?
I like that.
When they're doing something good, oh man, this is great, mashallah, great job. And when they do something wrong, hey, listen, we don't do that. Khalas, like stop. Like little bit of attention, but not too much attention. You give a piece of candy to your brother. Oh my God, mashallah, that in Islam that's such a positive thing, and you over exaggerate shway a little bit the attention that you're giving to that kid and positive reinforcement. We have this thing that we do as adults. I don't want to just say Muslims. Adults do this a lot, where we emphasize so much on negative behavior, right?
Oh,
we do. We emphasize negative behavior so much more than we do when we talk about positive stuff, right? And I think that's kind of where we've gone wrong. In the Western society, that's the normal, right? We yell at them when they do bad. We scream at them when they do bad. But that's the only time they get attention. So they're gonna do
a
it.
mistake.
Yeah, and that's, as a kid, at least he's talking to me, right? I'm thinking, at least my dad's talking to me. At least my mom is talking to me. I mean, at least they're looking at me, because when I do good, they don't say nothing.
In fact, may Allah give mercy to my father, the other is my mom. My father is a sheikh. I am very active, karate and bass and soccer. I love soccer.
Yeah.
I make mistake.
Always.
And actually, sometimes mistake in my heart. My father, he never hit me. When I make mistake, my mom, go to your dad. I sit. My father teach, and he looked his eye like this. And he finished the class, everything. And it's the way to you, what you did.
Yeah.
I did this. I know. But what is the result? What do you gain of this?
Wait,
You okay now? I learned from my mistake, from my mom, hose.
Yeah.
I was there, boom, boom. May Allah give mercy for my body. To be honest, I was almost
again, we talk, we laugh about our the way we were raised, but we're talking about a time now where talking to our kids is so much more important than it was years ago.
Yeah.
Because if we're not talking to our kids, there's going to be other people talking to our kids, and now we have a world in our phones. The whole world can talk to teach our kids something.
Okay, we have to repeat this again. The whole world in the hand of your son or your daughter hands. The whole world of this, watching everything.
And what's scary about that is, there's these apps, for my job, I keep up with the new apps and what's going on, what the changes are. And there's apps that say, make strangers your friend, download this app. And,
really?
Yeah. And what's scary is, we grew up on a time where we said, don't talk to strangers, right? Don't talk to strangers.
Oh my God.
Don't talk to strangers. And now we give this phone, this phone with connection to the whole world, with a full of strangers that our kids are watching, and they're learning and they're listening. And these people, there's a power that comes with the way we talk, right? The tones that we use, whether we're yelling, screaming, we're showing genuinity, we're showing love. You can actually take classes on how to talk, right? And how to talk the right way, how to be more persuasive, how to be more knowledgeable, how to act more knowledgeable. And our kids, they're watching these people who say the dumbest things, and the kids think, oh, this guy, he's dressed as a doctor, so he must know because he wears a stethoscope and he has scrubs on. The kids don't know that I could just go to a uniform store and buy it and then become a doctor, an online doctor. But our kids don't know these. They don't realize these things.
Yeah.
So as parents, and this is one thing I want to really stress out to everybody out here, really, really look through your kids' phones and their apps.
See that, brother, you mentioned this before. Yeah. Well, I give attention to this again.
It's very, very important that we take our kids' phones. I'm gonna grab my phone and show you. But grab your kids' phones, turn them on, look at the apps that they're using, look at the feed that they're looking at, watching what they're watching, right? Look at their stuff, their stories, see what they're watching. Because a lot of times, I hear stuff about law enforcement from these kids, right? A lot of the kids say, well, I heard on TikTok that it said the guy said he's a lawyer, and he said that I don't have to do this, I don't have to say this, and I'll explain to them, that guy that you think is a lawyer, he's not really a lawyer. He's looking for the people to watch his videos, because the more people that watch his videos, the more money he gets paid from TikTok. So he can make up all these stories and all these lies to you guys.
Oh my God.
And it doesn't make a difference. TikTok is not going to say, hey, we have to shut you down because you're lying. No, TikTok doesn't care. TikTok will and all these apps and all these little social media platforms, they don't care whether it's true or not. They're not looking for truth or not. They're looking for who can get the most people to watch the videos. So you can make up stories. You can act like you're a doctor. You can say, if your toe is falling off, put a piece of garlic on there and your garlic will fix your toe. And the kids will think it's real.
So we have to watch ourselves first, and our kids would add all these apps.
Watch what your kids are watching. That's the basic way of saying it. Watch what your kids are watching. If you're not watching what your kids are watching,
Ya Allah.
May Allah protect all our kids with all the stuff that they can see.
Okay. Now, our kids, of course, I'm going to mention again, because you visit many non-Muslim, public school.
Yeah.
Public school. But you see also in the same time, public school, there's Muslims.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But how our kids to make them feel you are the best?
So one of the things,
like Allah said in the Quran.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think before we get on that, I do want to say something, because I know we have a lot of people from the West on our platform, and a lot of our people from the West have their kids in non-Islamic schools, and they're having them in the public schools. And I know a lot of the public schools have Muslim, groups, Muslim, what is it called, MSAs and all those associations. Yeah. And one of the things that I always stress out to all the Muslims that are going to public schools, the 8th graders, when they go from the Islamic school to the public schools, is I want you guys to join all these Islamic Muslim organizations. And what's sad is a lot of the kids will come tell me, brother, I want to join that group, but there's 2 people in there that I don't like, and they're bullying me, or they're not good Muslims, and so I have to play the reverse card on the kids and say, if they're not good Muslims, you need to join that group and make them good Muslims, right? Because
you have to repeat this again, please.
Yeah, it's sad. We have the knowledge, we have the understanding, we have the power, and when you have these kids, we say, well, they're not good Muslims. They do this. They date, or they go out with guys, or they put the men and boys and girls together. So you have to be the one that goes in that group and says, guys, this is a Muslim organization. This is not how we be good Muslims.
Allah. In fact, it reminded me when I was in the first year in college in Azhar University in Egypt. And of course, I got to different shuyukh learn. One of the shuyukh, actually, when I take him to make da'wah, where? I was shocked. In a bar with a dancing woman and this and that. I said, how are you going to enter this place? I said, Ibrahim, just come with me. I was shocked. And the moment he entered with that lafa and jalabiya, the bar, music, everybody, quiet, everybody, and watch him, you entering the bar. And me, I was so shy. I was a kid, actually, I was 19 years old. And believe it or not, he spoke a very super gentle way, very beautiful. And many people left the bar and in the masjid. But the way he acts.
And again, that goes back to saying you gotta talk to people where they are, like at that mentality. And when I tell these kids is, don't go there saying you guys are bad Muslims, you guys are, this isn't the way to do things. There's a way of explaining, of talking.
Yes.
And I have two or three times where the kids will call me and say, brother, we're having an MSA meeting. Can you come and give a talk to all of us? And I'll come and I'll say the same. And they will say, brother, we said the same things you were saying, but they listen to you. They're not listening to us. And I said, you're probably saying the same thing I'm saying, but not the way I'm saying it. We could say the same thing.
Yeah.
But the tone, the way, the genuinity that comes out of people when we're talking, that makes a bigger difference than just what is being said.
Yeah, the tone is a secret.
It's a secret.
It's eloquent to speak, moderate, not loud voice.
Absolutely.
Moderate. That to me, that's smart and intelligent.
Absolutely. And it's called emotional, understanding how, even like in law enforcement, when we were going with somebody who's yelling and screaming, the teaching that we've learned is when somebody's yelling and screaming, you have to stay down. When he's up here yelling and screaming, we got to stay low and calm, because they eventually start coming down. And then when they get to your level and the yelling and screaming has stopped and they're clear-headed and they're calm, that's when you can have a discussion.
Especially husband and wife too.
Yeah. Well, that's a different story.
The husband and wife, same thing.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Especially if she's working. For example, my wife, she professor again, she teaches in university. She come a lot of students. She come here, and then she try to what's going on at work. She share with me. I know she is frustrated because the people there,
absolutely,
especially the kids.
Yeah.
And I come here. What I do? I'm listening. Listen. I cook with her in the kitchen. I will eat together, and after that, nothing happened. The key also, as Brother Muhammad, the way your tone is a secret.
Tone is huge.
Yes.
Tone is huge.
You speak with a gentle way, nice way, moderate, like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is his khuluq Rasulullah, his adab, akhlaq, morality. He is the Quran. Aisha radiallahu anha كان يقول رسول الله يمشي على الأرض. Quran. He was a Quran walking in the sea. That Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's very important, brother, to make our life gentle and nice, especially in our situation right now.
If you want to see change. If you want to see change within your household, because we always say start with your house and you'll start to see it go and expand.
With yourself.
You got to start with your wife. Start with your wife. Start with your kids. You start with yourself.
Yes.
And then what ends up happening is our kids now become walking, talking us, right? They learn from us.
Again, listen to this statement. Our kids
become
walking,
talking us. whatever we teach them, they're going to go out into the world.
They imitate us.
And they're going to imitate the way we talk, the way we walk, the way we act, and the way we behave. How do you want your kids to act, walk, and talk? They're only going to be the way they're going to be if they see the way the mom and dad are. Right? Yes. And so when you have parents who start to really understand what they're doing wrong, right? And a lot of times, when we go into these homes, especially with the men, they don't like to be told, you're doing this wrong. They don't like that because, I'm a man.
But you can fix it? How do you fix it?
So the way I always go about saying this to the men is, you've been doing this now the same way for 5, 10, 15 years. You've been doing the same thing.
And you're still struggling with it.
And you're still struggling with the same problem. Try what I'm trying to tell you to do. Just try me for 1 week. I know I do 1 week, 2 week goals with families because I used to do months. Some families I do a month. Some families that are really intense need about 2 weeks. Just try what I'm telling you to do for 2 weeks. If it doesn't work, then we'll try something else. But I can almost 90% guarantee you that if you try to do what I'm telling you to do for 2 weeks, it'll fix itself up. But a lot of times, we have this stubbornness. Me and you, we can't go to all the houses. We can't.
No.
So we try to do these things where, we have these podcasts where we hopefully hit thousands of people and hopefully they share it to all their friends and family members because we need to hear it as husbands, as wives, that whatever we're doing in the house or whatever we're not doing in the house, our kids are seeing it, our kids are feeling it, and the kids understand that if my mom and dad are not doing this, then it's probably not the right way to do it. If my dad talks to my mom in a certain way, then I'm going to talk to the girls outside a certain way. If my mom talks to my dad in a certain tone, a certain way, then I'm going to talk to the boys in a certain type of way. It's the way we're really implementing whatever we're implementing in the house is going to tell our kids how to act out there.
So the kids represented to the parents.
They're your representation, of course. Of course. Ask yourself this question: how many times are we parents going to see all of our kids' friends? We're not. So our kids
rarely to say
because our kids are the ones that are going to school. Our kids are the ones that are doing the stuff. Our kids are the ones out there in the world. So we're not going to be sitting there. This guy no, this guy no, this guy's okay. No, we're not going to be out there to tell our kids these things. So our kids are basically going to represent us on the outside.
Exactly. That means I have to fix myself.
Absolutely.
For my son to be fixed.
Absolutely.
To teach the others.
Absolutely.
As a man, also at the same time, brother and sister, we have to. Yeah. If you have any question, anything, or any comments, please join us with that, inshallah. I mean, brother. But honestly, when I go to different masajid, not a lot of masajid. Mm-hmm. When I see kids working together, especially within some time, and our masjid actually almost every day, that's good to do that. Now, can we in Sunnahfollowers here, for example, can Sister Layla, for example, gather our kids in weekly halaqah or circle or weekly or daily or something? Can we do this online?
You could do it. You could do. Listen, if there's one thing COVID taught us was we can use online for a lot of different things, right? Even for us when we were going to court stopped, but we were still going online. You were doing court cases on Zoom.
Court.
Like if they're going to jail and they need to go in front of a judge, when COVID hit, you couldn't go in front of each other, so we went on Zoom. Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
A lot of people do Zoom for everything. So there's an ability to do anything that you want to do online. The only thing that I have the problem with online is being careful what's being said online.
Oh,
right. You have to be very, very careful when you're talking online. Being very, very careful how you're saying stuff online. It becomes a gray area with certain things of what you can and can't talk about online. I like that, and that's kind of why I always say when I come to a masjid or when I go talk to certain groups, don't record nothing. Let's just do this in person, because a lot of times kids want to ask a question that they can't ask online because they're shy or they don't want to be recorded asking this question. So when you're giving the kids the private attention of in the masjid, in a classroom, and they have the comfort to really have, and they want to know these questions. A lot of kids have so many questions, but when I tell you, when I go to these schools and these 6th graders, 7th graders, 8th graders are asking me a bunch of questions, in the back of my head, I said, this is something that your mom and dad should be talking to you about.
Indeed. Yeah.
But then when I meet the parents, I said, okay, now I understand why this kid is coming to me with these questions and not you guys. And I'll tell the parents, there's a reason why. I'm standing next to you, the kid is asking you something, and you just yell at the kid. One of the kids at the masjid, he said, Baba, can we stay for 5 more minutes? I'm playing soccer with my friends. And the father just starts yelling, oh my gosh, you're always 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, and I want to go home. And he starts yelling at this kid.
Ya Allah.
And, I had to put my hat on and say, listen, I come to the school once a week and I see your kid. And he's not talking to you like he should be talking to you. Well, how do you know this? I said, I just saw the way you reacted to your child. Well, you don't understand. I have to live with him, and yeah, but he's your kid. It's
part of your life.
He's sixth grader. He's a sixth grader. He's still learning.
Yep.
And you just taught your kid, I don't want to talk to my dad.
Ya Allah. A lot of parents, the same thing. Yeah.
And so you have to, and those are the moments that when those moments happen, I like to see that in my face, because that's when I can start to teach and educate the parent. You're doing this wrong. If you keep doing it like this, when your kid gets in high school and he goes to a non-Muslim high school, he's not going to come to you with the problems that he's going to see in that high school.
Yes.
Because our kids, and let me tell the people online in the West and even in Muslim schools, the stuff that our kids are going to see in these high schools right now is not like anything that we've seen in our own time during high school.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not, the biggest
before COVID-19 is different now.
It's totally different. And before, our biggest thing was the kids smoking in the smoking cigarettes in the bathroom. It's a lot worse than what we remember growing up in these schools. And so we have to have an open line of communication with our kids.
Yeah. Before we finish, because Maghrib exactly after 5 minutes exactly, start Maghrib. Please, Brother Muhammad, before we finish, how to say something. We need advice. This advice, especially school starting now. School started. We want to give advice, number one, for the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And to give this advice, the parents give it to the kids in very gentle, nice way.
Yeah. So one of the things that I will say is school just started. We have now a chance to start something new from the beginning of the school year. Get your kids to start to talk to you about the classrooms, about the schools, about what they're doing. Yeah. How was first period? How was second period? How was math?
In a nice way, of course.
In a nice way, of course. Because we get one answer, like, how was school today? Good. But no, ask. Open question. What did you do in your first class? What did you do in your second class?
Part of every class.
Yeah, and be in a nice tone. Don't get frustrated. If this is something new to you as a parent who's just starting to do this, you gotta be patient.
Step by step.
Step by step. It's gonna take some time.
Yes.
But I guarantee you, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of doing this, of asking those open-ended questions.
Daily basis.
Daily basis. While you're eating dinner, while he's, let's open up your book bag. Let's see what you have inside. Let me see. What chapter are you on in your science class? Let's talk about, maybe you can teach me something about science that I don't know.
I mean, if you don't know what's going on there, let your son, your daughter teach you. Of course. They will be very happy.
Many times I do fractions and I don't know. Hey, teach me so I can teach you. Right? And they'll teach me, and I'm like, you already know. Leave me, I don't know this stuff. But you have to start it. This is now we're starting, I think, the second week of school down here. This is now where you have to start asking those questions on a regular basis, because once you do 2-3 weeks of doing this, you're going to start to see the kid come home. He's already going to know the questions that you have, and he's going to say, oh, in first period, Mom, guess what happened in first period? Dad, guess what happened in second period? Oh, in English class, we did this.
Means sharing.
They're going to start to open up by themselves.
I love that.
And so we don't realize. It's going to get to the point, and this is, inshallah, I hope this happens to all of you. It's going to get to the point where the kid's going to start sharing so much, you're going to say, oh, Allah's his element. Like, stop. But you can't say stop.
Exactly.
You got to let them go, and you got to now.
He's part of your life.
He's part of your life.
Yes, sir. Alhamdulillah.